Hey there, hi there, Capricorns. It's me, Priscilla B, and welcome to your Witch's Road tarot reading with me, Priscilla B. So yeah, I mean, wow, Capricorns, a lot coming at you. Okay, a lot of energy, good and bad. All right, so I thought we could start with the Triple Goddess spread. Listen to the words of the Great Mother. Okay. And this reading is really going to focus in on the three aspects of the triple moon goddess, Heka, and it goes like this: Maiden, mother, and crone, now guide my hand and heart. Show me your wisdom today by the witch's art. With the power of 3 times 3, as I will it, so shall it be. Okay? Now, there's going to be 3 cards under each aspect of the goddess. You will have 9 cards in all. The maiden shows you the possibilities, your hopes and dreams, and what yet may be. Okay? So let's start there. Oh, we got the crossroads, the hangman. That is literally the start to the witch's road. Okay? Is the road itself, the crossroads. Okay? So good start there. And then we have the 5 of Swords. Okay, this definitely explains a lot of conflict happening all around you. Don't worry, we got this beautiful dragonfly spirit to guide us forward motion here. And then we have Justice. Yes, Capricorn, slay. You are balancing the scales, my dear. Okay, Capricorns. You know, I generally, when I talk, I usually generally talk as if I'm talking to an audience of women or moms, just because that's me. That's who I am. That's how I identify. But my readings are for all. So welcome all beautiful souls. So channeling in this hangman energy, okay? You know, it's a man hanging upside down, but there's this halo around his head, okay? And then we get into the hangman energy, okay? So taking a look here at this hangman energy. Oh my gosh, let's see. Oh, happy National Bee Day to all the beautiful queen bees out there. Okay, the hangman. Okay, the meaning here is that when this card appears in a reading, it is a message to look at things from a different viewpoint. Embrace the idea of initiation as a vehicle to newer wisdom and a clearer spiritual path. Let go of the illusion of control. Turn things on their heads and look carefully at the lessons before you. Relax and be patient. This may not be easy, but fighting against the changes in your life only create more drama. Read the signs carefully, be they tarot cards or runes. Meditate on their lessons as you allow yourself to go through the transitional or initiatory phase calmly and with joy. By doing so, you will uncover the mysteries. Initiation, transitional phase of life, relax and let changes come. New outlook on life, rune magic, gaining a new perspective on a current situation. Deity association, Odin, astrological association. All right, so yeah, I mean, if we look closer at this card, you can see that there is a raven there holding a pentacle. Okay, and that pentacle is for you. Okay, and I feel like it just represents like abundance and just, you know, I feel like you are going through something here for sure because like you're hanging upside down. Okay, but if we look at this closer, okay, it says here a young man is calmly hanging upside down from his right foot on an ash tree. While he hangs there, he is in a transitional state or undergoing an initiation of some kind. The halo around the hangman's face shows him to be experiencing an epiphany. The peaceful skies in the background of this card tell you this phase is not a time to fear. You need to let go of something old and hurtful in order to gain this new wisdom. Enjoy this new perspective and in-between chapter of your life and see what you discover. In the Norse pagan tradition, the world tree, and I'm probably saying this wrong, Yggdrasil, like from Lord of the Rings, okay, supports the entire universe. The raven is a totem to the god Odin, and the bird symbolizes initiation, secrets, and prophecy. Just as Odin hung on the world tree to gain the knowledge of the runes, the hangman also finds his answers on the ash tree during this transitional phase of life. The raven holds a sparkling golden pentagram and looks down on the hangman as if to ask what he is doing there. Perhaps this is his totem animal and it is keeping the hangman company during his transitional state. Ravens are magical, clever, and playful birds. They are attracted to sparkling and shiny objects and will cachet them. The classic colors of red, green, yellow, and blue speak of balance within the four natural elements, and these colors make up the hangman's costume. The runes embroidered around the neck of his shirt and decorating the trunk of the ash tree are linked back to Odin, the world tree, and the wisdom found there. When this card appears in a reading, it is a message to look at things from a different viewpoint. Okay, so you are doing that, okay? There is something here where you're feeling stuck, not being able to let go or move forward. That phase, that is ending for you. Okay, Capricorn, where you felt stuck before and unable to let go or unable to move forward, you are taking huge strides, huge leaps of faith here. I know the full card isn't this card, but I feel like you are taking big steps, okay? You are taking them because you can't just keep letting this stuff from the past year that was holding you back, these secrets and things, like, no, Capricorn, okay? We're not here for those secrets no more, okay? Like, there's a beginning and there's an end to everything, okay? And this Witch's Road journey that you're on now, that is in the beginning stages. And that means leaving behind the old stuff that was no longer serving you, that was holding you back, that was like blocking you from being able to speak, blocking you from being able to move forward, just blocking you from life in general, okay? And you are leaving that all behind. Okay, so I know this is a raven, okay, even though crows look exactly the same to me, but I just feel like there's a message here from the shadow world, okay, and I am all shadowed out, okay? I already did all the shadow readings, but because this raven is here, okay, I'm going to read you this card. Okay, transformation. Embrace change as a chance to grow and evolve. It's a journey toward becoming your best self. Your best self. Okay? All right, so we can just pretend it's a raven from the Raven universe. I don't know, whatever. But we gotta get some clarity sometimes. And then speaking about clarity, we have the Five of Swords, okay? I feel like you're this dragonfly. This is like your spirit guide here, okay? Spirit creature that's transforming you and showing you some clarity here. And all these little fairies, dancing around here, this is all, like, some of them look like they're falling actually, but clarity is such a wonderful, beautiful thing because it brings about truth, okay? And the truth here is that you need to spread your wings, you need to soar, you need to fly, okay? You need to be your little dragonfly self, okay? And whatever is holding you back from that has to go. It has to go. And yeah. So looking at this Five of Swords, okay? Let's see here. So the Five of Swords are fanned out across a beautiful bright blue sky. Pearly white clouds are illuminated, and just beneath the gathered points of the Five Swords is a gorgeous iridescent dragonfly, a symbol for the element of air, the fairy realm, and illusion. 5 fairies fly merrily around the swords, uncaring of their sharp edges and any possible danger. But what do you suppose is the most dangerous aspect of this card? The sharp edges of the swords or the possible trickery of the Fae. This card shows you that your pride was hurt, but it's not fatal. Do not overreact. You may feel embarrassed at the moment, but most of what you are so humiliated about is illusion. The dragonfly represents a need to gain a new perspective and to make a change. The fairies encourage you to learn to laugh at yourself a bit, to see through others' trickery, and to keep moving forward. And that's the thing, Capricorn, is like a lot of people trying to play mind games on you and manipulate you and play tricks on you. Okay? And, you know, the brutal, honest truth about that isn't that you should feel embarrassed or that you should feel humiliated. I know you probably do right now because, you know, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good, you know, to be the, you know, in the position that you're in, okay? But you're leaving that old position behind. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're moving toward a new, better position in your life. One where there's no more trickery and there's no more manipulation. And, yeah, I mean, shame on those people for making you, like, feel that way. You know what I'm saying? So, the meanings here are when the Five of Swords appears in a reading, it is a signal that the Courant is feeling humiliated and embarrassed. This is only a partial defeat and they are still in control. Don't give up. Shift things around and look for more possibilities. Allow the element of air to bring some fresh air and new perspective to your life. Heed the message of the dragonfly and see through the illusions of others. Transform your life into something bright and wonderful. Embarrassment, illusion, trickery. Learn to laugh at yourself and keep going forward. Humiliation, carrying a grudge, conflict with a domineering person. Okay, yeah, so this domineering person, okay, they're a bully. They are, okay? They're a narcissist, okay? The modern day narcissist is usually someone who is, you know, trying to make you feel bad for them all the time. And it's like, there's no space for you to ever have a bad day. There's no space for you to ever feel bad about something. That's like the modern day narcissist. Those are like your red flags, right? And if you're not even like dating this person, if you're not even in an intimate relationship with them, you know, if it's more like a business type of relationship, like family business, family dynamics, okay, relative, for example, like, who the hell do they think they are? You know, like, whoa, bruh, like, check yourself, right? Before you wreck yourself. And their objective is to make you feel bad about your decisions for your own spiritual growth, for your own boundaries that you have put in place, okay? And, you know, justice prevails in the end. Justice prevails. Justice balances the scales in your favor, Capricorn. Because for a long time, the scales were not being balanced in your favor. And as like the maiden in this part of the reading, you're starting off as this new, like, you're obviously a very strong person, Capricorn. No one can deny that. No one can debate that. You know, you're a survivalist, so you're very resilient. But on a spiritual aspect, okay, and we're talking about this part of your journey where you're just starting to grow, where you're just starting to learn, where you're just starting to transform, and you're still very new at this, kind of like a newbie, okay? The game's afoot, right? May the odds be in your favor, okay, Capricorn? It is kind of like a Hunger Games type of world, okay, that we're talking about here. We're talking about like spirituality, okay? So, you know, this is like Katniss Everdeen, you know, like first movie, okay? Like, we haven't even gotten to the whole franchise yet, okay? We haven't gotten to the second movie yet, okay? This is just the early stages of your spiritual growth and spiritual development, okay? So their objective, usually a narcissist's objective, is to make you feel embarrassed about your own boundaries. and about your own ability to speak on your own behalf on what it is that you desire, what it is that you want. And you're asking for like basic common sense type things, like respect, like mutual conversations, like, you know, people taking accountability. We're not even going into the far depths and regions of, you know, psychology here, where we're talking about like analyzing people's behavior and like talking about, you know, their overall like entire history here, because that's not relevant here. What's relevant here is that you get to decide who you want to go on this journey with and who you would rather leave behind in a spiritual sense, okay? Maybe sometimes in a physical sense as well, but mostly we're talking like spiritually here. So it's an energy, okay? So that brings us to your Justice card, okay, Lady Justice. And she's ready to, you know, slice down all the all the hater energy coming your way. All right. And she's just like, back off. Thank you. Have a nice day. No, thank you. Like, thanks, but no thanks. You know, so I feel like for a lot of you, for a very long time, you were pretty much like quiet, reserved. You know, you didn't say a lot. You didn't speak up a lot. Not because you were scared, and not because you don't have that ability, but because you were still in like that chrysalis form. You know, you were still starting out and preparing and planning and getting everything together, all your little ducks in a row, right? And now that that's happened, now it is time to move forward, and it is time to, you know, go on this journey away from what was holding you back before. Okay? So the Greek goddess of justice, Themis, sits at her temple. She looks at you carefully with a direct, thoughtful gaze. Themis holds a double-edged sword in her right hand. The sword symbolizes that balance must be preserved, even if it is by force. In her left hand, Themis holds the scales, also equally balanced. The emeralds in her crown and the emerald brooch pinned on her cape promote emotional stability and encourage wisdom. No one can see through the purple curtain behind her, as it conceals the mysteries and the inner workings of the universe. This is a central card of the 22 major arcana cards. Since justice is at the center of our lives, and she will have her impartial outcome, Themis treats all with integrity and reverence, as she is in essence a neutral force. Justice reminds us of the laws of karma and the idea of cause and effect. What we have done in the past and do now in the present will affect our future. The Justice card illustrates equilibrium, balance, and fairness. It is time to weigh your options and to assess your actions in life. The black-eyed Susans growing in the Grecian urns elegantly symbolize justice in the language of flowers. The Justice card is connected to both the High Priestess and the Karma Major Arcana cards. Like the High Priestess, justice is a neutral force, and its links to the Karma card remind us that in the end, karma will always have its way. Meanings. When the Justice card appears in a reading, you need to ask yourself what is out of balance and what sort of justice you are looking for. What is it that seems so unfair in your life? What actions of yours have brought you to the point? This card can represent legal matters in a possible court case. It can also symbolize a restoration of balance. It indicates that fair play, honesty, harmony, and balance are coming. Situations will work themselves out. Trust and leave the dispensing of this justice in the hand of the gods. Justice, legal matters, fair outcome to a court case, cause and effect, allowing the gods to take care of the outcome. Honesty, equilibrium, integrity, and equality. Athena, Themis, Libra energy. And the Astrological Association. And then we have reverse bias, injustice, delays, unfair outcome. Okay, so I think that there are certain energies right now at play that have kind of brought their own, like, kind of bad luck upon them. And you are someone who's like, you don't believe that, right? You're like, I don't believe that people just have bad luck, right? I feel like people make decisions and they make choices, and they make them based on what they feel is right at that moment. And I feel like for you, Capricorn, you're much more of like a planner. You're much more of an organizer. So you don't really, unless you really had to, you really don't like to make a decision like right at the spot like that. You like some time to think and process things. And the Justice card is like, Capricorn, I feel like right now you need to take your time with figuring out what you want, what you want to do, and take some time to relax and to breathe a little bit and kind of let karma do its job right now, because I feel like you're always like stepping up to the plate to be this leader, Capricorn. You're a natural born leader. Okay, I'm a Capricorn. I get it. We want to take charge of a situation or a challenge and get it done, right? Get her done. But the thing is with that, Capricorn, is that you need to do that for yourself, because for too long you've been doing that for other people. And they need to tap into their own Capricorn energy, right? Like they need to channel their own leadership skills, and they need to solve things and resolve things for themselves. And I feel like you've already done so much. You've already done more than enough even. And I feel like any more that you do is just like going to wear you down and wear you out. And it's not going to serve your best interest, and it's not going to help you stay balanced. So justice is here to do its thing. Let justice do its thing. Let karma play out. I mean, I feel like you love warning people in advance, like especially like friends and family. You're like, I just want to let you know that might not be such a good idea. And then they're like, do it anyway. And you're like, I told you so. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, now you've already told them, right, Capricorn? And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, Capricorn. You do too much for these people. You do too much for this energy, this group of energy, people, places, things. You do too much for it, and you don't need to do too much anymore. You don't need to do anything anymore. Let karma play itself out. Let justice serve its purpose. That's what it's here for. This way you can go and enjoy your journey. You can enjoy your time. You can restore yourself. You can replenish yourself. And then in time, if this energy is meant to come back in your life in a good, positive way, then it will come back. But if it's only there to serve its own selfish desires, if it's there to like cause and create problems and chaos for you, then just leave it all behind and just move forward without it. Okay, that's gonna be really key ingredient here. That's gonna be really important here. Okay, Capricorns. Okay, so that being said, we now move into the mother phase. Okay, and I feel like I am a mom even just saying all that. So the mother shows you how your projects and goals have come to fruition and what is happening right now. Okay, and we have here the Three of Swords, Capricorn. Wow, look at that. Yeah, definitely Three of Swords energy. Okay, and then we have also the King of Cups. Yep, emotional intelligence is warranted here, is needed here for sure. And then we have here the Nine of Cups. Yep, abundance. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of beautiful energy coming through. Now the Three of Swords can get a little bit challenging at times, but I feel like for you, Capricorn, the Three of Swords is more of a like, look at this type of energy and like what's happening over here with that. And if it's not serving you, if it's not in your best interest, then don't entertain it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is a brutally tough card here. But we're going to get into it, okay? All right, so a large red heart is pierced by three swords. In the background, a stormy sky and heavy rain clouds are seen. Three fairies hover above looking dejected. A fairy couple embraces as if comforting each other, while the third fairy flies away. Blue ageratum flowers are falling from the rainy sky. While the heart is a symbol of love, truth, courage, and ethics, the three swords piercing the heart in this card sadly represent betrayal, heartbreak, and delay. The heavy, dark rain clouds symbolize the stormy emotions and tears that are present in your life at this time. In the language of flowers, the blue argentum means delay. This particular card illustrates the toughest times of heartbreak and the anguish of loss and betrayal. Okay, the meanings here, when the Three of Swords is dealt in a reading, it causes a visceral reaction. This is brutally tough card. There is no polite or soft way to put it. Yeah, Capricorn, I mean, you had to, like, speak the truth, though. Like, this is all about you speaking your truth, Capricorn, so that you can move forward. And it is a little bit scary, especially when you've been around a group of people or energy that's been very toxic towards you. But when the Three of Swords turns up in this reading, it is like a sucker punch to the stomach. It hurts. This card, more than any other, illustrates the pain and loss that the Corn is experiencing at this time. What you need to understand is that you have to take the pain into your heart, accept it, shed your tears, and then move beyond it. Once you have accepted the pain and experienced the grief, then and only then can you move forward. This card may also stand for a delay to a project and plans, or the painful karmic repercussions that are experienced when a manipulative spell backfires on the caster. Yeah, and that's the thing, Capricorn, is like somebody was trying to put a spell on you, right? Not like the song, I put a spell on you, not that fun, funky song, but this person was like doing some serious harm to you, and you had to tell them no, and you had to say stop, and you also had to tell them the truth of the matter, of why they need to stop, of why you've had enough. And it was hurtful in a sense where you like knew that speaking the truth was going to be scary for you and painful, because you at a time in your life were afraid or were feeling scared about the repercussions of speaking up for yourself. But you had to do it, though. You had to, Capricorn. I mean, you were being bullied by this person for so long, or by this energy for so long. And, enough's enough already, Like the mother of the triple moon goddess, formation, or whatever you want to call it, okay? That level of energy there is so strong and so powerful because it is the mother energy. And the mother takes the maiden like under her, metaphorical wing there, like a mama bird taking care of her baby bird. And she's like, I got you. I know these people were hurting you. I know you were being bullied. I know you were being harassed. I know they were trying to, be toxic towards you and, tell you who you can and cannot have in your own home, for instance. That's crazy. Hooray, hazy, okay? But I got you, girl, okay? And I'm going to have your back here, and I'm going to speak up and advocate for you. And that's what a mom does, right? She advocates for her child. If her child hasn't been through this and hasn't processed the information and developed the, ability to speak on your own behalf, right? Then that's what the mother's role is, the nurturer, the caregiver, okay? So we have here keywords: delay, personal betrayal, loss. Obviously, this is a personal betrayal to you because you gave so much love and care and energy into this specific group, and they did not give that back to you at all. Okay, maybe they've like breadcrumbed you and stuff to make you feel like a little bit here, a little bit there, but it wasn't like enough to really fully make you feel safe and secure. Because every time they gave you something, they threw a threat in there with it, or every time they gave you something, they throw, well, if you do what we say, if you act a certain way, and if you keep your mouth shut about certain terrible, horrible situations that are occurring, and you sweep them under the rug and pretend they don't exist, then we'll love you, right? That's not love. Love doesn't sweep things under the rug and act like problems don't exist. Love solves problems. Love challenges authority and dictatorships. Okay, I'm gonna get like political, so I don't want to get that, I don't want to get that political here, but basically, on a smaller scale, this energy is toxic AF, and you're telling that energy to back off. And you are hurt because you didn't expect this from certain people, you didn't expect them to be so toxic towards you, and yet here they are being super toxic towards you. A spell that has backfired, drama into your sadness, conflict. Yeah, the only drama you want in your life right now, Capricorn, is the drama of a movie, of a really good movie, like The Devil Wears Prada 2. Okay, shout out to Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt and that guy in the movie. Yeah, but you know, like, you have got to just reassess things. Okay, you've got to let go of some stuff. Okay, Capricorn, because they tried to control you. That's what their spells were all about. That's what their energy was all about. Okay, destruction, strife. The healing process is blocked until you work through your grief. You will not be able to move on. Yeah, I mean, they're not moving on. They're stuck in their own victim mentality. Okay, they don't want to do the work to heal. They don't want to process things. They want to stay stuck in this like fog forever. And you're like, no, I'm going. Bye. Like, adios amigos. Bye bye now. Okay. So yeah, I mean, that being said, we move into the King of Cups energy. Okay. And the King of Cups, oh my gosh. Cups. Okay, so the King of Cups is seated on his throne beside the sea. To honor his element and the suit, there are two tailed mermaids and cups worked into the throne's design. This elemental king wears regal, intricate robes in shades of silver and royal blue, and he is cloaked in majestic purple. A heraldic bright aqua blue mermaid is embroidered on the chest of his tunic, and silver waves decorate the hem of his robes. The mermaid represents eloquence, loyalty, and truth. The king's crown is made of gleaming silver with sapphires and a stylized starfish. He also wears a jeweled livery collar, or chain of office made of silver, blue sapphires, and pearls. The metals and the stones are all linked into the element of water. The silver is receptive. The blue sapphires enhance his psychic talents and his ability to be loving and fair. The lunar pearls exemplify the wonderful gems of the sea. Both of the king's arms rest on the arms of the throne, showing that he is relaxed and in control of his domain. In his right hand, he holds a silver cup. In his left hand is a scepter topped with a shell. We also see that this is a married man, as he wears a wedding band on his left hand. The king looks straight ahead, as if he is carefully considering both you and your request. The King of Cups is smiling kindly, and his blonde hair, mustache, and beard have just a touch of gray in it, showing that he is older and wiser. In the background, we can see the ocean and dolphins joyfully leaping out of the water. The meanings here: a mature, wise man who is well versed in the craft. This card represents an individual who is artistic, intuitive, creative, and passionate. Okay, physically, he has dark blonde to light brown hair with a touch of gray and blue or green eyes. He is a good friend, a loving and attentive husband, and a devoted father. The King of Cups gives good, solid advice when asked. This card could represent a quiet man who keeps his emotions to himself, but who can be moody. He is, however, deeply emotional, and he has a tough outer shell to disguise a very soft and loving interior. He often sees what most people would prefer to keep hidden. This card represents an individual who is an excellent mediator, physically talented, and strong and fair. The lesson from the King of Cups is that wisdom comes from looking within. Temper your counsel of others with compassion and affection. A water sign man, a married, mature man, well versed in the craft, a loving husband and father, a good friend, a wise counselor, a creative personality, the gifts of intuition, wisdom that comes from experience. Water and air, water is a suit of cups related natural element, while all four of the kings are associated with the wise and thoughtful element of air. The astrological association is Scorpio. Reverse, difficulty expressing emotions, dishonesty, a domineering lover, a person taking unfair advantage of one another who is less experienced. Okay? Okay. Yeah, that's a lot to unpack there. But really what's happening here is I think that there is someone who, masculine energy, that is like a mentor to Capricorn. And you know that they represent love and fairness and emotional intelligence, and they're mature and they're wise and they're being kind to you. You know, they're letting you understand and letting you see like what you need to know, like a, you know, like a mentor, like a teacher, like, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? Or Yoda or something, right? Like this is an energy that is helping you channel in that energy you need to go on your spiritual journey and to feel positive about it and to feel encouraged to follow your passions and your creativity. And it's an emotional energy though. So like before you fully embrace all the passion, all the creativity that's channeling to you, you first want to set the tone, right? And you want everyone to be aware that, you know, you're going on a path here, okay? And people should not try to mess with you on your path, okay? And that brings us here to the Nine of Cups, okay? This Nine of Cups energy, all right? 9 silver cups are arranged in an arc across the covered banquet table. Behind the table, a pretty woman wearing a bright blue and green gown stands smiling contentedly and pouring wine into one of the 9 cups as if to welcome you to the feast. All right, so the hostess has a mystical peacock feathers and a blue flower in her hair and a necklace with 9 stones around her throat. The tablecloth is pale aqua blue, and there are starfish and shells worked into the cloth's design for a visual link to the element of water. An arrangement of pineapples, grapes, apples, and pumpkin are displayed artfully on the table as if a celebration is about to occur. The pineapple is a classic symbol of hospitality. The pumpkin, apples, and grapes speak of the bounty of the harvest season, and the pumpkin is associated with the moon and the element of water. In the background, a cauldron, a classic symbol of the goddess, is simmering over a hearth fire. When the 9 of Cups turns up in a reading, expect that your social calendar will be filling up. This is the hospitality card. It also symbolizes welcomes and confirms that you will be hosting an event or party for family and friends. If it appears in a reading with the 4 of Wands, then expect to be very busy with social plans for the next few months. The 9 of Cups announces that you may find yourself hosting a Sabbat or Esbat celebration for your coven. This card can also represent community gatherings. Don't be surprised if you become involved in the organization and running of the Sabbat celebration or community event. Enjoy the preparations and plans and do not stress over them. Furthermore, this particular card is sometimes referred to as the wish card. A wish is about to be granted. Hospitality, community graciousness, gatherings, festivals. A wish will be granted. Enjoyable celebrations with family, coven, and friends. Smugness, false pride. You are not as popular as you think you are. Unfriendliness. Yeah, I mean, there is that particular person that's like thinks that they're like so amazing, and they're really not. But I love how this comes through in the mother aspect here, because it's like the mother is kind of like the hostess, right? She throws the birthday parties and the holiday events, and like there is this particular like masculine energy that doesn't want you to be like celebrating anything unless it's in their home or their way of doing things. And this person is not like your husband. This person is not your friend. And yet they think that like they can tell you how to celebrate your holidays, how to celebrate your own special occasions and events. And you're just like, I am channeling my inner mom right now. Okay. Like, and I'm going to celebrate my way, right? Like, no, thank you. And it's not to say that like this particular person like isn't like invited, or, you know, they don't have a place at the table or whatever. But if they're giving you an attitude and they're acting like they're like so amazing and like they're being like super arrogant and they're not being helpful and they're being chauvinistic and they're not playing, like they're not doing their part in this, like of being supportive and helpful, and they're trying to like undermine you and your own home, okay, that's not gonna fly. And they don't even live in your home with you, you know, like they would be a guest in your home. And you know, it's like your time to shine, Capricorn. And I feel like they don't want you to be popular. Like they don't, like if you are in like a clique or something, right? Like they're supposed to be like the clique leader, right? And you have to do everything they say, right? And I feel like for a long time you were like, okay, you know, let's see where this goes or whatever. And then you slowly learned that like a lot of what they do is super toxic. And a lot of what they do is super abusive. And a lot of what they do is bully others. And you don't want to be in that clique anymore. You don't want to be part of that group anymore. And you want to go off and start your own thing. And even if that means leaving them behind and they criticize you for that and they make fun of you for that, it doesn't matter. You still have to go and start your own party. Okay, you have to go throw your own party. Okay, Capricorn. And, you know, if you are a mom and you want to throw a birthday party for your kids and stuff, and there's this other male, like this male energy that's like telling you like what you can and cannot do for your own kid's birthday, and they're not even like the kid's father, or they're not even the husband, like they're not even married to you, they're not like your boyfriend or your best friend or whatever. Like no one should be telling you, even if they are in those roles, they shouldn't be telling you anyway, because you literally birthed these kids. So really it's like your choice. And I know they don't want to hear that, but that's the truth, okay? And that's what this reading is all about. So let's move into the crone aspect here. And this is like your future self, pretty much giving you like some clarification and some idea of to what to prepare for. The crone shows you the outcome and your karma, the things that are unseen, and what you may be unaware of or afraid to face. Okay, so we don't always want to face these types of misogynistic, narcissistic, toxic, masculine energies that are pretty apparent here. And it might not seem like that at first, but there is an energy that's feminine here that's trying to come out of that type of energy and sort of stand up for you and stand up for justice and stand up for the things you want. Because what you want here, what justice is trying to fight for you here, is this Nine of Cups right now. Is this chance for you to throw your own parties, for you to have your own celebrations in the way you want to have them. Because for so long you were celebrating. I wouldn't even call it celebrating. It was really like depressing. Like people might as well have gotten like black and gray balloons and a banner that said, "We're not happy today, but let's have cake anyway." It's like, ugh, no, thank you. Okay, so what's happening here with the crone? Okay, yes, Queen of Pentacles. Boss bitch energy. There we go. You know, she's not playing around here either. You know, she's like, I am creating financial stability for my family, for myself, and I don't need anyone telling me how I can and cannot do that or how I should and should not go about that. It's totally my business and my business alone. If you want to invest, that's great, but just know that I'm the boss and I'm going to be in charge. And you're keep getting this like undermined type of energy that keeps trying to undermine your authority for your own freaking life, Capricorn. And that is not something a Capricorn naturally tolerates or naturally even wants to deal with, to be honest with you. Like, I'm a Capricorn and I'm the boss of my own life, and I'm willing to make space and room for people and places and things that are not going to be trying to drag me down and trying to hold me back, because as a Capricorn, I want to advance. I want to climb to the top of that mountain. You know what I'm saying? So for you, on a spiritual sense, Capricorns, it's like, I have a soul purpose here. I have a destiny. Okay? So stop trying to mess with it. Please and thank you. Okay? Yeah, like the vibes are off, Capricorn. The vibes are off. With, you know, whatever this type of masculine energy, even maybe feminine energy, that was trying to keep you down, that was trying to put you in your place, that was, you know, saying bad things about you, you know, throwing bad energy all around you. I mean, karma is going to deal with them, so you don't really have to worry about it. It just sucks, you know, that you had to like even get that kind of energy from these people, because you've given them so much, Capricorn, so much, you know, and for them to treat you the way they're treating you, it's not right. It's not right. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles, the beautiful and exotic Queen of Pentacles, that's you, Capricorn, sits on her floral throne, a bower of climbing red roses growing above her. She has dark eyes and green ribbons are worked into the braids of her raven-colored hair. Her gown is in shades of earthy green. She wears a crown made of golden leaves and set with square-cut emeralds. On the Queen's forehead, she wears a red bindi. This is a symbol of the mystical third eye and of wisdom. In particular, the red color of the gems in her bindi design represents honor, love, and prosperity, as befits royalty around her throat in a heavy, rich necklace of square-cut emeralds. The emerald is an enchanting stone that gifts its wearer with bliss and loyalty. The queen holds a golden pentacle in her right hand, and in the crook of her left arm she holds a bouquet of white and green tulips, honeysuckle, and golden wheat, bound together with pale green ribbons. Behind the queen's throne is a beautiful landscape and blue skies, with an adorable brown dog sits at her feet. The flowers. Actually, this dog is so cute. This looks like a little dog that I had when I was a kid, like a little kind of terrier type dog, maybe. Um, Behind the queen's throne is a beautiful landscape and blue skies, while an adorable brown dog sits at her feet. The flowers the queen holds are all linked to the element of earth. Green tulips symbolize prosperity and luck, in love, honeysuckle wealth and devoted affection, and the wheat abundance and riches. The red roses in the bower around the queen signify beauty and love. The dog corresponds to the element of earth and is a sign of loyalty and companionship. When the Queen of Pentacles appears in a reading, look for the ultimate Earth Mama. This card represents a mature woman who may have dark hair and eyes. She is practical and has a deep love of nature and a spiritual connection to the earth. While this queen is sensual, gorgeous, and loves beautiful things, she will work hard to get and maintain the things she cherishes. Gardening, cooking, or redecorating, she is always creating or tending to something or someone. This queen is happiest when she is nurturing others. She is a devoted wife and mother, an amusing friend, a generous hostess, and a passionate lover all rolled into one. The Queen of Pentacles is often linked to the Empress card. If they should both turn up in a reading, motherhood is the prime focus. The Queen of Pentacles is a definitive nurturer card. This card speaks of welcoming cozy homes, happy families, beloved pets, loyal friends, fun, and affection. All right, so the message here of the Queen of Pentacles is to embrace your love of the beautiful things in this world, create a beautiful and magical atmosphere for yourself and your loved ones, an earth sign woman, a homemaker in the best sense of the word, emotional fulfillment, generous hostess, loyal friend, nature lover, earth mama, devoted wife and partner, hearth and home, motherhood. Associated elements, earth and water. Earth is the suit of pentacles, related natural element. All four of the queens are associated with the emotional element of water. The astrological association is, guess, Capricorn? It's you, Capricorn! You are the Queen of Pentacles. This is your future self. Once you go down the witch's road and once you fully embrace this transformation in your life, you show up as the Queen of Pentacles. Okay? Obsession with possessions and material wealth, holding appearance and social status in too high of a regard, a false friend, suspicion, jealousy, and unfaithfulness. Okay? Now that, Capricorn, is what you are going away from. You are moving yourself, detaching yourself from that energy that was trying to keep you in they were false friends. They were constantly suspicious of you and they were constantly projecting this jealous energy at you, and they were unfaithful to you. They were not being loyal to you at all. They were not supporting you. They were not loving you. They were not caring for you. They were not investing in you. At least not in the sense where it's like, we want to give you this because we love you and we care for you. They want control over your life. Okay? Shred up that contract, that karmic contract, and rewrite a whole new narrative contract for your own life. Maybe quitting a job and starting your own business. All right. So, yeah. Once you have reached this stage, okay, Capricorn, if you're not already feeling it, it's coming, okay? And then we have the 8 of Wands. Yes, messages coming in. blessings coming in. I feel like these are all going to be like super positive, loving messages that are going to show you like support and love and willingness to like work with you. Sometimes it can appear as like some toxic stuff coming in at you, but you kind of like are already blocking that out, I feel like, or you've taken the steps to do that. You're getting ready to do that. Um, yeah, 8 blooming hawthorn wands adorned with red ribbons shoot down from a beautiful blue sky. In the background, we see a silver lake, green valley, and mountains. The tranquil backdrop is in direct contrast to the 8 of wands that are rushing into view. The 8 wands are coming back to earth, as it were. This can symbolize that many creative possibilities are falling into place. Also, the journey is coming to the happy end. All you hope for is about to occur, and success is at hand. Excitement, activity, change, and movement are the messages of this card. The 8 of Wands is one of the few minor arcana cards that does not have any people, animals, or creatures in it. All we see is a landscape and the 8 wands hurtling towards the ground. This card is basic and simple in the best possible way, and so is its meaning. This is a card of movement and manifestation. When the 8 of Wands flies into a reading, it is a notice that projects that were once delayed are coming to a swift completion. This is a positive and exciting card full of motion and action. Spells that were cast will happily manifest now. Often this card will symbolize travel for business or pleasure, and typically this is travel by air. The 8 of Wands can also mean long-distance communication between business partners. This is the time where fresh ideas and creativity rule, and swift, decisive action is in order of the day. Movement, action, things coming to a swift completion, the positive manifestation of spell work, travel for business or pleasure, and typically travel by air, long-distance communication. So if you're worried about like a situation that drags on forever, spells that stall, trouble with air travel, canceled flights, like the thing with that is that it's not your problem. It's not your job. It's not your problem. Okay, to solve canceled flights, trouble with air travel, all spell, like it's not your job. Whoever's in charge of all that will take care of that. And honestly, I feel like, you know, from the start of this with the Hangman, you were, and then with the Justice even, you were like handing those problems off to the professionals. Like they can handle that. They can deal with that. It's not your responsibility anymore. And it shouldn't be your responsibility, you know? So at the end of this, we have the 10 of Wands. Look at this. Headed toward the castle. Yeah. Okay. And that shows up right after the 8 of Wands. So, interesting. So, an old man is traveling away from us and down a dirt path toward a castle. He is carrying a bundle of 10 blooming hawthorn wands over his left shoulder. The old man is slightly hunched over as if his burden is just a tad too heavy for him to manage. The man wears a stylish traveling cloak of red with intertwined dragons, the element creature of fire. In golden orange on the black of his cloak, his face is hidden from us, but his head appears to turn towards the castle, his ultimate goal. The castle classically represents the reward that waits for you after your quest for knowledge and advancement is completed. But we have to wonder, will he make it the rest of the way with such a heavy burden to carry? The blue sky and pretty clouds show that his environment has nothing to do with his predicament. He has chosen to carry this burden all at once and on his own. When the 10 of Wands appears in a reading, it is a heads up that you have taken on too many things at the same time. Your routine and activities have become too much for you to manage. While you may enjoy wearing many hats and having an active social life, currently you are feeling overwhelmed with the demands from work, family, and or your coven members. The bundle of 10 hawthorn wands in this particular card actually represents too much of a good thing. While your intentions may have been noble, there is an overabundance of creative energy and you are being pulled in too many different directions. You will need to let some things go. Set down some of those wands in order to complete your tasks and goals with grace. Learn to delegate in the business world, your personal life, and your coven, or you will have trouble successfully completing your goals. Many commitments, not enough time. Feeling overwhelmed and carrying too much of a burden. You need to pick and choose what can be set aside and what is vital. Psychic overload, physical exhaustion, oppression, a burden that may break you. Okay? So your future self is warning you that if you go back to all these other people's problems, all these other people's things, you're not going to have enough energy for the things that really matter to you the most. Okay? And also, I feel like you need to, like, those burdens that were not yours to carry needed to be sent back to whoever was giving them to you in the first place. Okay? It's not your job, it's not your problem, and you already have so much going on, and you have a beautiful future waiting for you, okay, Capricorn, that you need to fully embrace. And in order to do that, you need to let go the burdens of other people's problems, because they keep making it your job, your responsibility, when it's not your job and it's not your responsibility. Okay? And you're going to know that just by them even asking you. Like, they're like, oh, well, I don't know how to resolve this, or I created this problem for myself. Now I don't know what to do about it. Well, too freaking bad. Like, I have my own problems over here. I have my own responsibilities over here. And I accepted these responsibilities because I knew I had the ability to take care of them, or learn how to take care of them. And that's what I set myself on. That's the journey I set myself on. All right. And to finalize the reading, okay, and to sum it all up into one card and one energy, I have for you the Queen of Swords. Okay? This is kind of like a combination of justice, the divine feminine energy, and the clarity and the truth, and cutting through all the BS that was holding you back before, Capricorn. So, looking here at this Queen of Swords, the beautiful Queen of Swords sits at the top of a high mountain, and bright white clouds are billowing in the wind. Her throne is sturdy but elegant, with carved songbirds worked into the armrests in the overall design. The wind swirls her long brown hair, and behind her thoughtful face, she has smoky gray eyes and a serious expression, as if she is plotting something or considering her best options. In her right hand, the queen holds up a beautiful gleaming sword. With her left hand, she seems to be beckoning to someone. The queen wears a white gown scented with azure, a sky blue cloak with white feather trim flowers over her shoulders and back. Her crown has sharp, dramatic spikes and is set with yellow topaz stones. The yellow topaz in her crown encourages a successful attainment of personal goals. She wears a large necklace of blue topaz around her throat. The blue topaz gem evokes truth and wisdom. In her lap is a small bouquet of fragrant herbs that are associated with the element of air. She holds lavender, which is protective, and lily of the valley, which in the language of flowers means a return to happiness. A blue jay sits on the back of her throne, and another is on the ground next to her. The blue jay reminds us to call upon our own sense of sovereignty, to develop our own talents, be fearless, and walk our talk with integrity, just as the Queen of Swords does. The winged fairy that hovers nearby is a sylph, an elemental creature of the air, and seems to be attending the queen. The Queen of Swords is a brown-haired woman with fair to hazel eyes. She is clever and ingenious, with a dry wit and razor tongue. When this card breezes into a reading, it can herald a time when you need to pay attention to your own instincts and intuition. New ideas are blowing in. It may be time to try something new. This card successfully represents an air sign woman, a woman who is a career-oriented, honest, focused, and successful in whatever she sets out to do. She may be sarcastic at times, but she is smart, blunt, and determined. She will rule her home and family with the same ruthless organization she applies to her career. Her communication skills are top-notch. She may be a scholar, a writer, or a speaker. Though men are attracted to her for her looks, they tend to back off when they discover how smart and honest the queen is. She has no time for falsehood or ignorance. The Queen of Swords may represent a woman who is slow to trust others, especially in relationships, and a woman who may prefer to stand on her own. This queen will listen to her head first and logically consider her options before she trusts her heart. The message from the Queen of Swords is this: assert your independence, stand up for yourself, follow your intuition, and try something new. An air sign woman, wisdom, independence, intuition, assertiveness, personal development, walk your talk. The elements here are air and water. Air is the suit of swords, related natural element, while all four of the queens are associated with the emotional element of water. This astrological association is Libra. Again, balance, justice. A woman who has closed off her feelings and established very high boundaries. Isolation, gossip, a vindictive woman. Okay? So that vindictive woman energy, okay, that is something that these people from your past were trying to, they're always trying to isolate you. And then they're trying to gossip about you. And then they're trying to project things onto you. And then they're trying to paint you as some kind of villain, Capricorn. And that's just not the truth anymore. Okay. And the very high boundaries. Okay. You're not asking or telling people that you're not willing to be a team. You just want to be a team that respects each other and loves each other and doesn't say hurtful things about each other. And that's just, you're not getting that. So you have to separate yourself from those people. Okay. And that's really like basic common sense. It's not, you're not telling these people, oh, you can never speak to me or talk to me or be around me ever again. You're just telling them, like, if you want to talk to me and you want to be around me, then you have to be willing to admit that what you did was wrong and that what you did hurt me, and you have to apologize for that. If you can't apologize for that, then you don't need to make space or time for them. Okay, we have emotional healing. Tears are rain nourishing the soul. We have physical healing. The body is a river. Let the current cleanse it. And we have the blessed bounty. Harvest grow in soil of gratitude. Okay, and you are very grateful at this time. You're grateful that the universe is like stepping in and telling you it's time to celebrate. Joy is the echo of soul at peace, and rest your mind. Ceaseless thought drowns the soul's voice. Yeah, and not now. Roots demand the bloom will come. Maybe fog lifts with the next tide. Yeah, like the fog that I was talking about, the people who aren't willing to own up and take accountability for their mistakes. You know, you're not ready to be around those people right now, and you don't need to be around those people right now. Okay, and you already told everybody that, you know, you're going to be having your own celebration over here and you're willing to have people come and participate, but they have to be willing to admit their mistakes, and they have to be willing to actually sit down and have a conversation with you. You know, I know in the modern world, text, calling, whatever, but like still it has to be a conversation. There can't just be, okay, I'm just gonna like tag along and after hurting you and like just show up to your home on, you know, without even speaking to you and like not even admitting my mistakes and like just no, that needs to stop. Okay, you can't have people like that in your life, Capricorn. It's just not okay. Okay, so that's what I have for you, beautiful souls. Love and light always. Take care now. Bye.